We're joined now by Simeon Nanama, Regional Nutrition Advisor at the Unicef West and Central Africa Regional Office. Thank you, Simeon, so much for being with us on the programme this morning. Firstly, if you can, how exactly do we define severe food poverty, and what kind of health problems do these children generally have?
Thank you very much. Severe food poverty comes from, is a concept that UNICEF has initiated to draw attention on the fact that millions of children around the world are not getting the food they need to grow and develop properly. According to the international recommendation, children need to have at least 5 of 8 food groups per day to be considered as having a diet that is diversified enough to support growth and development. And children who have 2 food groups or less daily are considered as being in severe food poverty, while those having 3 or 4 food groups per day are considered as being in moderate food poverty. Now, in terms of the consequences, the report that UNICEF issued indicate that children in severe food poverty are 50 times more likely to develop wasting compared to those who have diversified diet, and 34 more at risk of becoming stunted. So this means that food poverty, severe food poverty in particular, is really a risk factor for malnutrition for children.
And Simeon, this is a problem that can affect children anywhere in the world, depending on their personal circumstances. But as part of this report, which countries have you found to be worst affected?
The most affected region in the world are South Asia, where we have 64 million children out of 181 million globally that are in severe food poverty, followed by Sub-Saharan Africa, where we have 59 million children affected. Now, if we are talking about countries individually, the most affected countries are Somalia, Afghanistan, and Gaza. And you would notice that those 3 countries are countries that are currently going through conflict. Conflict is really an aggravating factor for food poverty for children. For instance, in Gaza, we noticed that 9 in 10 children are suffering from severe food poverty, and this is the result of the conflict there that has devastated and destroyed both the food and the health system, and therefore really jeopardizing the survival and the development of children because of the fact that families really don't have the means to provide the food that children need to grow properly.
Simeon, you mentioned the situation in Gaza there. With no end in sight to the war, what exactly can be done to help Palestinian children there, many of them in danger of famine and starvation?
Well, I'll talk in general about what needs to be done to address food poverty in children in general. And this applies to Gaza as it applies anywhere else in the world. And this really includes working to transform the food system. UNICEF is really urgently calling upon the government, the development and humanitarian partners to join forces so that we can end child food poverty. And this, as I said, goes through transforming the food system to make sure that it provides the food that children need to grow properly. It includes transforming the health system to ensure that the system provides information and services to children and to caregivers so that they can feed their children properly. And it includes setting up programs, safety net program, a social protection program, be it cash transfer, be it food vouchers, to ensure that the most vulnerable segment of the population have access to the financial means to afford food for their children.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there for now, but thank you so much for your time on the programme, Simeon. That was Simeon Nanama, Regional Nutrition Advisor at UNICEF.